I'm Katie Halper.
I'm team. If we're, I'm team Trump. By the way, I'm team. If we're fighting between Bolton and Trump, I'm team.
Joining me now is a former member of the Trump administration, Ambassador John Bolton.
Katie tried.
If we're fighting between Bolton and Trump,
Putin says very nice things about me. I think that's very nice.
President Xi is a terrific guy. I like being with him a lot.
if we're fighting between Bolton and Trump,
I don't think they are really friendly with Donald Trump. I think they think Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, they think he's a laughing fool. And they're fully prepared to take advantage of him.
Katie tried.
by the way, I'm team. If we're fighting between Bolton and Trump, I've never said this before in any other context, but I'm team Trump.
Don't seem right. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
I'm team Trump.
What the hell is going on?
The damage he did in his first term was not insignificant, but it was all repairable. The damage he could do in a second term may be irreparable, and that, I think, is what's dangerous.
If we're fighting between Bolton and Trump,
We will root out the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
I'm team Trump.
They're poisoning the blood of our country.
I'm team Trump.
And I never read Mein Kampf. It's poisoning the blood of our country. They said, oh, Hitler said that.
I'm team Trump.
In a much different way. Oh, Hitler. In a much different way.
Hillary Clinton compared former President Donald Trump's rally to a Hitler rally and seemingly suggested that they used a salute similar to that of Nazis. Let's watch.
You know, trying to figure out how did people get basically drawn in by Hitler? How did that happen? And I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing up there ranting and raving and people shouting and raising their arms. I thought, what's happened to these people? Why did they believe that? You saw the rally in Ohio the other night.
your right hand.
Trump is there ranting and raving for more than an hour.
Russia, please.
And you have these rows
Get us Hillary Clinton's emails.
of young men
Russia.
with their arms raised.
He asked Russia.
Yeah, so I saw the footage that people have been talking about regarding this rally. It's just not a Nazi salute. People raise their arms. It's not a Nazi salute. So that's some misinformation. I wonder if the misinformation czars who run our society want to prevent you from saying anything wrong.
Jews will not replace us!
Gonna fact check that one. I'm sure they'll get around to that anytime now.
Hail Trump! Hail our people!
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had very fine people on both sides.
Never really a good look to like play around with facts when you're just trying, so you can call someone a Nazi or Nazi-like.
The liberals are in the media. The liberals are in the media.
This is what you'll get. Come on,
Yes.
arrest and scholar Hitler.
It is true.
It's making me feel that way.
Technically, that some far-right, fascist, alt-right people use the okay sign.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear?
Yeah, this sign.
I hope it is.
To signal far-right, right. I am demonstrating it. I'm not using it.
Right.
Some people do that. Now, 90, probably. I'm just making up a number here, but 97% of the people who make the okay sign have no idea that a small number of people associate with Nazism and are not doing it for that reason.
Right.
So small number, very small.
I mean, obviously the Sieg Heil is different, but what you're saying, and I haven't seen the footage, but you're saying that they did not have the right arm raised up with their hand like that and like that. And
Better, happier, more productive, comfortable.
Right. There's a certain. I'm not going to do that one.
Yeah, that one because that one is a known entity.
Yes. Yes. If you're doing that willfully, and I'm sure. Richard Spencer type people have in the past.
I've given an account.
Done that at rallies. But
we're still on the payroll.
as for Hillary Clinton, look, she has every right to criticize.
This is what you get.
Trump saying ridiculous things at rallies. I'm sure the things he says were ridiculous, but it's her. But It's her,
It
but
buzzes like a fridge.
it's her, but
It's
her, but her kind of pathological need to explain her loss in terms of like, right, oh, this is just like when Hitler came to power, or it's Russia's fault, or those kinds of things. It's never
misogyny,
her fault.
Bernie Bros.
It's misogyny, it's Russia, it's the rise of fascism. It's not people just not liking her.
Right, and of course, if you want to actually look at what she brought up, which is how does someone like Hitler rise to power, I mean, there were economic conditions that made people much more disposed to listening to a demagogue like Hitler.
Fitter, happier,
So, of course, like
more productive,
the America is already great again is actually a great way, I think, to foster
comfortable,
kind of right-wing radicalism.
not drinking too much,
Because people feel like they're not being heard.
regular exercise at the gym.
Oh, when they're being told by Democrats,
Yes.
then what do you mean? America's
Right,
already
yeah.
great, and that's not the experience some
Right.
people are having
Yes.
due to their economic
I think
condition.
it's one of the things that made people turn to Trump.
Getting on better with your associate employee contemporaries.
Now, again, I'm not saying he's Hitlerian. I think it's a pretty dangerous comparison to make. But to the extent of why demagogues are more or less
At ease,
kind of successful, of course,
slower and more calculated.
you know, the Treaty of Versailles played a big role. That humiliation played a big role in Hitler's rise. The economic devastation in Germany played a big role too. So.
No chance of escape.
But she never, but it's funny. I mean, I bring that up, I guess, because these are the same people who laugh off the idea of economic anxiety playing any role. But if you actually want to use Hitler as a teachable moment, that is one of the big things.
Yeah, absolutely. But right, the mainstream media hates when you say
right,
that. When
and
you
also
say it was all, and of course, it was substantially about racism. A lot of racism, obviously involved in the Holocaust.
Yeah,
we should
right. You can't.
Nobody is ignoring that this was a
right.
racist regime that came to power and annihilated an entire culture, ethnicity, race,
Concerned,
etc.
but powerless.
Yes.
Right.
No one
one's
is saying that's
pretending
not
that it's
the case.
economic stuff alone. Right. But the question is, what makes
An empowered and informed member of society.
What environments make this that much more conducive?
Right.
To things like the leader like that.
Pragmatism, not idealism.
And also, I mean, Hillary, do you really have to do this again? You already did the basket of deplorables. It's like,
Will not cry in public.
do you want to just write off? I guess she does.
She does. That's
All
how she
supporters of
legitimately feels about
Right.
it.
Right, because then she doesn't,
That's
like
her
you
strategy.
Less chance of illness.
there's nothing, she did nothing wrong.
Right.
Tires that grip in the wet.
It's just all these pathological.
Or it's Russia, or it's
Nazis.
people were
Right.
misled. People were tricked by misinformation.
Yeah.
Shot of baby strapped in backseat.
People were duped. It wasn't, it's like, I mean, she comes
Has nothing
close
to do
to,
with her.
and probably, and I think actually just
A good memory.
has in the past done the thing you're not allowed to do. You're not supposed to do on social media. You can get in trouble for of denying the legitimacy of the election results.
Right.
She flirts with that all the time.
Still cries at a good film.
She said it's Tulsi Gabbard's fault. She said it's
Still kisses with saliva.
her insistence that it's nefarious Russian influence
No longer empty and frantic.
hoodwinked people, prevented people from voting who they would have voted for her, but but because something illegitimate happened, they didn't.
Has nothing to do with her like record high unfavorability rating.
Like a cat.
Or like not giving enough speeches in Michigan.
Yeah, right.
Tied to a stick.
Well, Putin closed down the airport.
That's driven into frozen winter shit.
Putin,
In Michigan and Wisconsin.
Putin got a hold of her speaking schedule, added a couple more stops in states she was already going to win by record margins, and said, no, don't go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The ability to laugh at weakness.
Whatever you do,
get
Hillary.
diverted.
Yeah. Niet.
Consider
Niet Pennsylvania.
Niet Pennsylvania.
healthier and more productive.
Which is
A pig
it's just so funny. The obsession with that as the explanation.
in a cage.
Time and time again. And then she still keeps talking about it. She still keeps talking about it. And you're not supposed to do that.
On antibiotics.
If you're from where I was